butts, them buttholes done been sold. Dogs breeding like bugs, or rabbits or coat hangers. Killers killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. 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 Where'd all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. 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 Where'd all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News. 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 News.
All right. Should be going. Yeah, there we are. Using Rumble Studio here. Oh, what did I do that for? I mean, yeah, super tip. If you so desire, but it's in the chat. So please do check that out. Should you so desire. I've got it set up where we should be able to hear it and see it as I'm coming through OBS into Rumble Studio. Yeah. So cobble together some stories. Yes, it does involve not one, but two naked men at large. I don't know how large, but out and about. Don't worry, it's an overseas story. If you're overseas, well, yeah. But, it's our lot in life and all that. These things happen. We'd rather they didn't, but then they do. So what are you going to do? I don't know. I honestly don't. So I'll just get to it for your viewing entertainment. But first, murder. It's tough out there. You want to meet somebody. You're lonely. You just want that intimate connection with another human being. And then, oh, damn it, it all goes wrong and you don't seal the deal. You can understand being upset, but there's some things you just should not do. So there's this guy who shot a woman because she refused to have sex with him. Yeah. That's right. 78-year-old man sentenced for shooting woman after she refused sex. Oh, well. So this elderly man will spend 3 decades. Wow, that's like 30 years behind bars for shooting a woman who refused to have sex with him. Well, the DeSoto County District Attorney's Office announced July 31st that a judge sentenced 78-year-old Stephen Robertson to 30 years in the Mississippi Department of Corrections for 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. According to prosecutors, the defendant shot a woman in the leg after she refused to get naked and have sex with him. So see, she's refusing the sex and the nudity. So, yeah. Robertson's son reportedly intervened and tried to disarm his father. Authorities said Robertson then fired shots towards his son. The hell was his son doing there? I mean, maybe he started shooting the woman. They were in another room, and then the son, hey, what the hell's going on? Maybe something like that. I don't know. Anyway, in a statement, District Attorney Matthew Barton said, at 78 years old, this is effectively a life sentence for Mr. Robertson. Yeah. Who will live the rest of his life in a striped jumpsuit. Oh, they don't have the orange. Looks like he's wearing a yellow thing in his mugshot, but that might just be the the jail. But when he goes to prison, it's going to be the old-timey striped jumpsuit. So anyway, our office takes violent crimes seriously in DeSoto County. Well, it's your job, isn't it? Anyway, and we will continue to hold offenders fully accountable when they endanger others. So he's getting 30 years. So this, okay, 2 counts of, I thought he had killed the woman, but he shot her in the leg, so she did survive. So there we go. But still, you'd rather not get shot anywhere. And so it just didn't work out between them, I guess. The magic wasn't there. And he was upset about it. He said, look, could you at least just get naked? And no. And, he got one shot off and hit her leg, but had he had time to fire again, well, he did. He shot at his son. His son shows up. No, Dad, no. And then he shot at him. That is a weird thing with the son there, but hopefully the scenario I described is the actual scenario that, he was in another room and heard the gun go off and rushes in. That's frightening to hear, although you hear a gun go off. But then again, he's thinking, oh no, Dad. And he rushes in and there's this woman on the floor with a bullet hole in her leg. And maybe it's that. Otherwise, were the 3 of them supposed to? Yeah. Anywho, that's it for, the old horny man. Again, it's sad, you're lonely and stuff, but, yeah, just because it doesn't work out doesn't give you license to shoot him in the leg or anywhere else for that matter. But at least, she survived. So that's nice. That's nice. Well, nice enough. I mean, look, it could have been far worse. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see what else is going on out there, all kinds of stuff. Oh, look. Man kidnapped women from park the day before he bit and beat other victims with brass knuckles. It's what I do. A man is accused of more than a dozen crimes in a 2-day span in St. Louis, Missouri, having allegedly kidnapped 2 women and attacked others with brass knuckles. Austin Fitzgerald, 61, stands charged with kidnapping, sexual abuse, assault, and the unlawful use of a weapon, among other charges. He faces 14 charges in total, with authorities maintaining that he carried out a spree of violence at Tower Grove Park between August 1st and August 2nd. On Friday, the first day of the month, 2 women were at the park when Fitzgerald came up to them from behind with a black pistol-like firearm. You mean a gun? Was it an actual gun? Did it just look like it? I mean, why describe it like it with a black pistol-like firearm? Yeah. Anyway, he said, "You two are coming with me," according to a probable cause statement. He then allegedly grabbed one of the women's arms and, when she resisted, ordered her to follow him in her vehicle. So did she? Just because he told you? Wait a minute. Fitzgerald instructed the other woman to get into his car, according to the... Oh, so she followed along because of her friend. But, okay. According to the court document, he drove off after the first woman activated her car alarm and began yelling for help. Okay, she didn't just go along with the plan. This is when the alleged sexual assault occurred. With his weapon in his lap, the suspect is said to have forced off the shirt of the woman inside his car and grabbed her breast. He then reportedly said, "I'm going to take you back to my hood," and threatened to further assault her. Fitzgerald is accused of also taking the victim's purse and demanding she give him money. Once again, his alleged plans were thwarted. The victim inside his car escaped and jumped into a witness's vehicle who had recorded the incident, which was collected as evidence. Yeah, that's smart. According to the probable cause record, which noted that other witnesses corroborated both victims' accounts. The women were visibly shaking and crying when officers arrived, according to a detective with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. They were both brought to a nearby hospital. Midnight came and went, but Fitzgerald's violence persisted. On Saturday, 4 people were seated on a Tower Grove Park bench where the suspect came up from behind them and began to hit them in the head and chest. Good Lord. As other people around tried to stop Fitzgerald, he allegedly bit another person, causing a visible bruise and teeth markings. Officers were called, receiving word via radio that a man was assaulting multiple individuals with brass knuckles. When they arrived, park rangers had detained the suspect, tranquilized him, hogtied him, and seized the brass knuckles. Fitzgerald was booked into the St. Louis City Justice Center. The women who were attacked on Friday later positively identified the defendant in a photographic lineup. The detective stated in the court document, adding that, "I believe the defendant poses a danger to the victims and community," as he was also charged with multiple assault and weapons charges against other victims the following day. So Fitzgerald was ordered on Tuesday to be held on no bond, and he was scheduled to make his initial court appearance. So in St. Louis, they're smart enough not to have bail reform. So, boy, look at the attitude he's got, huh? Yeah. Well, anyway, there you go. Seems like a pretty good call on their part. Yeah, this guy's probably dangerous, was it, this is not a way to meet girls. It just isn't. I mean, going to the park, okay, sure. But that's not how you break the ice, by breaking them, Anywho, they took care of that problem, didn't they? So, I guess, good luck. Why are there 2 of me? Who the hell was that asshole? Anyway, there you go. Justice served against some crazy old bastard. Sometimes creeps are in the park, All right. Cocteau's here. He says, "Holy moly, it's early." It is, except for me. It's terribly late. But, that's how that works. To each their own. Sure. Okay. Here's a crime duo. Oh, boy. What are they up to? Well, Mother and boyfriend starved adopted son with autism, chained him to a cot. You see, that's not how you right. See, mother and boyfriend starved their adopted autistic son, chaining him to a cot. You can't say you starved him with autism. I don't even know how you would even do that. Well, there we go. The modern day American Gothic. Their two mugshots there. Yeah. So anyway, a troubling case of depravity in Western Ohio has seen a new development as a man charged with killing a teenage boy accepted a plea deal. William Turnage turned. Williams, 59, pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter and endangering children, the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office said. As part of the plea deal, charges of murder and failure to report a crime were dropped. Turnage was charged alongside 53-year-old Tamara Moore, his girlfriend at the time, after the child's body was found in February 2024. Moore was the victim's mother, reportedly via adoption. Okay. And she still stands charged with murder and endangering children. I guess more than one. An unidentified 16-year-old boy was found dead on February 6, 2024 in appalling conditions. He had no food in his digestive tract, and he was chained to a cot and forced to live in a basement closet. Jeez Louise. Roughly 2 months later, Moore was arrested at her home on Bell Green Lane. What? So they just found him in some basement somewhere, huh? Bell Green Lane. She was booked into the Hamilton County Justice Center on April 12th. Law enforcement continued to search for Turnage, and they found and detained him 4 days later. Then Hamilton County Prosecutor Melissa Powers released a statement following the arrest, vowing to secure justice for the victim. Words alone cannot describe the level of depravity displayed by these two defendants, she said. My heart breaks for this little boy. He was treated worse than an animal, forced to live in a basement closet, unwanted, unloved, and denied the most basic of necessities. I promise that we will do whatever is necessary to ensure there is justice for JJ. I assume they finally identified him. I don't know. And that both of these individuals are held accountable for what they have done. Turnage is scheduled to be sentenced for involuntary manslaughter and endangering children. He is being held on $500,000 bond and faces up to 11 years in prison. Moore is being held on a $1 million bond and is scheduled to appear in court on September 29th. It is unclear if the same plea deal is or will be available to her. Look, one of them is more responsible than the other. Otherwise, why did he get the deal? Unless, of course, he gets the deal because he's going to tell everybody, oh, yeah, she did it. Even though they got her first, they got him 4 days later, but so, yeah, I don't know the thinking there. Manslaughter? I don't know where that kid got to. So my guess would be that this was one of those deals where they adopt the kid so they can collect the money off of him. Didn't really give a damn about him. Obviously didn't care to deal with his condition and whatnot, and just dumped him in some basement and forgot about him while cashing the support checks. Probably. That'd be my guess. Yep. So, poor JJ, All righty. We're moving right along. Those were probably the worst of we got here. No, it isn't. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. All right. So we'll move right along here. Yeah, this guy. Man who didn't want wife testifying at divorce proceeding ran her down with her SUV, seriously disfiguring her leg. So I guess he did it at the Shell station. I don't know. Anyway, he's like, what? You ran over your wife. Oh, yeah. A Georgia man faces several felony charges after prosecutors said he stole his wife's SUV, then hit her with it several times. Boy, that's more add insult to injury, you know. I mean, he uses her own vehicle and then runs her over it with it several times over. Man. I guess he's really pissed at her. Twan Maurice Bird, whose age was not publicly available. Let's look at the mugshot again. He could be in his 50s. I don't know. Anyway, he was arrested in February following an incident involving his wife, according to a bill of indictment reviewed by Law and Crime. Bird stole the Chevy Equinox that belonged to his wife on February 3rd. An arrest report obtained by the Georgia Gazette, a local news outlet, stated that witnesses saw Bird hit his wife with the SUV multiple times and attempted to run her over on the curb. The arrest report stated that the other witnesses saw Bird back over her before she ran. Oh, she was able to run. Ran into a nearby car wash. He then allegedly hit her again, leaving the car and his seriously injured wife in the car wash as he fled on foot. Well, according to the bill of indictment, Bird not only hit his wife with her own SUV, he also strangled her and struck her in the face. Police said in their arrest report that they found Bird's wife bleeding heavily from her nose and mouth and suffering from a broken leg. She was able to identify her husband, she knows him, as her attacker before she was taken to the hospital. Prosecutors said the injuries to the woman's right leg were seriously disfiguring. In the bill of indictment, prosecutors accused Bird of trying to prevent his wife from testifying against him in their divorce proceedings in Chatham County Superior Court. They alleged that he unlawfully offered to give her whatever she wanted in exchange for her not testifying. Bird was also accused by prosecutors of stalking his wife after he allegedly made harassing and intimidating phone calls to her. But why did she think he was stalking her? Bird was charged with hijacking a motor vehicle, criminal attempt to commit a felony murder. Yeah, I was wondering when murder would get in here. Because that's what he's attempting to do here. Kidnapping, influencing a witness. Well, stalking, obstruction of an officer, and 3 counts of aggravated battery. Well, he remains in custody at Chatham County Jail, where he's being held without bond. I don't think he thought this plan through. I mean, he didn't want her to testify, obviously, in the court proceedings of their divorce because, well, it could make him look bad. Well, how do you think he looks now? Yeah, he didn't think it through. No. Oh, well, so much for that asshole. You got a lot more problems now. I wonder what it is she was supposed to, just the talk about him stalking her and stuff. And she's like, he won't go away. He won't leave me alone. I'm terrified of him and everything. And then he just goes and proves the whole thing. He just like, hey, come on, just don't do it. I'll give you whatever you want. Well, what was he going to do? I'll give you your own car. Okay. Cocteau, he's very thorough. Well, ran her over, backed over her, then strangled her, and then punched her in the face. But man, she was able to run. Maybe the second time he backed over her is when he broke the leg, because she was able to run to the car wash after he initially hit her. So I'm guessing that's the deal. I don't know. But, I think this guy's stupid. Yeah, that'd be my guess. Speaking of stupid, man, coincidentally, ran into girlfriend's ex at restaurant, then accidentally shot him. Hey, look, it can happen. Yeah. A 28-year-old man in Kentucky has been arrested for allegedly shooting his girlfriend's ex-husband after the two men coincidentally ran into each other while at a restaurant in Louisville. Carlos Garcia Romero was taken into custody over the weekend and charged with a spate, wow, that much, of felonies, including 2 counts of second-degree assault and 1 count of first-degree wanton endangerment. Garcia Romero is also facing charges of discharging a firearm or other device across a public road, unlawfully carrying a concealed weapon, and first-degree fleeing or evading police. Well, according to a news release from the Louisville Metro Police Department, officers responded to a report of a shooting at a restaurant in the 5200 block of New Cut Road near Iroquois Park. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders said they located an adult male victim who appeared to have suffered a gunshot wound to his left leg. Emergency medical personnel transported the victim to the University of Louisville Hospital for treatment. While at the hospital, the victim told police that he knew the shooter and identified him as Carlos Garcia and said that he was his ex-wife's boyfriend. Louisville ABC affiliate WAS, that's WHAS, reported. I thought it was organic. See, damn it. I should read this more carefully, but I'm not gonna. Investigators soon learned that the suspect was Garcia Romero. Oh, so the guy was kind of a little off. He forgot the Romero part. He knew it was Carlos Garcia something, But, close enough. The victim reportedly explained that he encountered Garcia Romero after coincidentally running into him at a restaurant. See? It happens. The shooting allegedly took place shortly after the two men saw each other. Huh. What are the odds that a second accident could happen? Well, let's find out. Police were reportedly able to confirm that Garcia Romero's girlfriend and the victim share a child together. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Well, you never choose who you love. You made somebody and all that. Then you find out all the complications, but then your heart's in love. You can't get out. And the thing about dating a woman with a child, it can work, but the actual daddy is still in the picture. Yeah. Still, it's all Carlos's fault for shooting him in the leg, stupid. Anyway, in an interview with investigators, Garcia Romero allegedly conceded that he saw the victim and pointed a gun at him to scare him, but said he never intended to shoot him. Oh, so was this an accident? Oh, yeah, here he says. The defendant reportedly went on to claim that the gun accidentally went off while he was pointing it at the victim. I just butterfingers, I'm sorry. After the shooting, Garcia Romero reportedly told police that he tossed the gun into a dumpster at a nearby gas station. Well, why'd you do that? Oh, because you'd committed a crime. Garcia Romero is currently being held by the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections in lieu of $50,000 bond. Thank God the victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. So as then he could say, see, if it hadn't been an accident, he'd be dead. But it was just an accident, I don't know, fate sometimes, I walk by. Turns out it's my favorite restaurant too. And I don't know. I was mad at him, he keeps hanging around. I think he wants her back or something, and I said, you better move on. And then I was shaking the gun, and damn it, it went off. Sure. It could happen. Cocteau, I miss my girlfriend with a child. She was a crazy angel. Okay, so it wasn't your child. She had a child with some other dude, and you had a good time with her, but probably part of the thing that really interests you is her craziness. Yeah, I know what you mean. But it was also the reason probably why you're not with her anymore, right? That's how that goes. Oh, well. Cocteau says, it wasn't mine. No. So, similar situation, but at least you didn't go hunt down the father and shoot him, Oh, wait, that's the same story. I got to get rid of that. Oh, jeez. This next one is, well, we'll get through it somehow. Oh, hey, Thompson. The audio's good. Oh, thank God. Boy, I'd be so embarrassed had I been sitting here babbling in silence, Because how many times has it happened? Too many. Oh, let me make sure. Yeah, it is. Man mercilessly beat woman over span of 3 days before killing her with wet washcloth and dismembering her body. Good Lord. So, well, an Ohio man was convicted this week of aggravated murder and gross abuse of a corpse. Well, yeah, among other charges, after he mercilessly beat and killed a woman over a span of 3 days, then dismembered her body with an axe and shears. Eric Ward, 36, was found guilty following a trial in Franklin County for the 2021 death of 32-year-old Allison Lorenz, whom he killed using a wet washcloth. Prosecutors said Ward brutally beat Lorenz, whom he was romantically involved with. Well, nothing about this sounds romantic, but anyway, at a residence, and then put the washcloth over her mouth while she suffered from agonal breathing caused by Ward throwing her to the ground and pummeling her. Jeez. Another woman who testified against Ward and is named Heather Baker helped him dismember. So an accessory. Lorenz, good Lord. Who the hell is this idiot? I mean, he says, hey, I need help dismembering my dead girlfriend. Okay. After being beaten and attacked herself. Oh, he beat and attacked her too. So I guess, thought, you got to help me dismember this, or maybe that's the deal. Anyway, from September 25th, 2021 to September 27th, 2021, defendant mercilessly beat Miss Lorenz in her own home until she succumbed to her injuries. In order to dispose of the evidence of his actions, defendant decided to dismember Miss Lorenz's body and dispose of the remains. He took Miss Baker to a hardware store to purchase an axe, shears, and cleaning supplies. Heather Baker purchased a storage unit at the U-Haul storage facility located at 2189 Eakin Road, Columbus, Ohio. Authorities said they learned of Ward's actions while investigating him for selling drugs, with a related search of a home he used and the discovery of a storage unit receipt, leading cops to Lorenz's body and the supplies used to dismember her. Boy, they thought there was going to be more drugs probably. They opened it up and like, oh! Ward exercised control over the woman through physical and mental abuse and controlled access to narcotics. Okay, for the drugs. Upon speaking with residents of the area, detectives obtained information that a male and female hauled away several black plastic bags from the house the day before. noting how the Ward and the other woman were both identified. Ward and Baker are said to have conducted numerous web searches regarding DNA evidence and blood after Lorenz's death. Defendant and Baker then drove to a home department store. You mean, okay, Home Depot. But anyway, and purchased a cobalt axe and Corona shears. I don't think they want, you don't need the brand names to be included. Those companies probably rather you didn't, But anyway, police discovered Lorenz's body on September 29th, 2021 inside a garage at the home of which Ward was reportedly selling drugs. The officers were investigating her involvement with his suspected drug activity. Detectives observed the plastic on the walls and the dismembered corpse. Oh, well, yes. I mean, plastic on the walls. Yeah, but what about that corpse? Oh, yeah. That probably really clued them in, Alongside her dismembered corpse was a blue cobalt axe and Corona shears. Ward's conviction marks the end of the second trial. Second trial? What, is this two different jurisdictions, or did they had a hung jury or something and had to do it again? I don't know. He was given for Lorenz's death after a juror reported being threatened by good Lord. Well, all right. By someone over the case during his first trial, which began on July 14th. Baker pled guilty to tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse. Don't know how much she'll get. And this, I guess, had nothing to do with his criminal activity as far as drugs and whatnot, as far as his motive for killing her. I guess they were boyfriend and girlfriend, had a fight, and, it went bad, to, say the least. Well, that was, these are nasty stories, but that one, geez, that was pretty bad. Well, I got some more chat here, so I'll, take a little moment to visit. Audio good, yeah. A. Thompson aggravated for 3 days. Wow, yeah, well, he just kept beating her and stuff. A. Thompson, LOL, what kind of kung fu uses washcloths? I don't know. I guess after she was so badly beaten, he's put it over her face or stuffed it in her mouth, and she was, such labored breathing that contributed to her dying. She asphyxiated, was unable to get air in that condition. At least that's based on the description they provided. So I don't know. Cocktail, oof. Talk about burning the coal and pay. Yeah, well, A. Thompson, Ohio, wow. A. Thompson, 90% of crime in America is drug-related. Yeah. I wonder if she took a little more than he's like upset or something like that. That triggered the whole fight. Oof. But now look, evil and stupid. Always a lethal combination. A. Thompson, I need the brand names. Always need the brand name. Do you really want your company's brand name in this horrible murder scene? Jeez. When dismembering a corpse, go cobalt. A. Thompson, I didn't expect that color spectrum. Sounded like a white-on-white crime. Really? Well, it wasn't, but yeah, it does happen that way too. Yeah, that's true. There's been a couple of those. Guy and a woman cut her husband all into pieces. Just like the other night, there was that woman who cut her boyfriend all into pieces. And she was a reality TV show star. Not anymore. A. Thompson's brother's getting down white boy style now. Yeah, I guess. The other woman's another girlfriend. I don't know. But, was loyal to him for the drugs and all that. So, I'm pretty sure it's not a happy union. I mean, I can only speculate and guess, of course. All right, well, let's get to Naked Man. See? Naked man wearing only balaclava and plastic clogs and carrying sex toy on a stick terrifies European tourists. Well, just don't come over here. A man wearing nothing but a balaclava and plastic clogs and carrying a sex toy on a stick has been startling tourists while wandering around a historic castle in Slovakia. Some people come to see the castle. Got a little more than they expected. The unidentified intruder posed for a picture carrying his bizarre prop near Gimes, I don't know, a castle, a popular hiking destination in the country. He reportedly apologized to the two female hikers who spotted him, claiming that he thought no visitors would be around on a Monday, and let them take his picture. There he is. What the hell? I'm Master Dildo of the forest. He had a balaclava, a stick, and a dildo stuck to the stick. Stick on a stick. We were scared of him, but he told us he was sorry, that he didn't want to scare us. So he asked us for directions because he thought that since it was Monday, he wouldn't meet anyone. He asked them for directions. Look, obviously, I'm a little lost. Where's the restroom? I don't know. The male exhibitionist turned and seemed to be leaving before he suddenly began following the women. Oh, no, this is turning me. When I turned around, he turned and started following us. I was terribly scared inside. I guess no one would have believed that we could meet someone like that in the forest, but he allowed us to take a picture of him without any problem. Well, that's the mask, he's got the mask on. So I guess this is just a picture of the trail. I don't know. Anyway, it was lucky that there were two of us. I can't imagine what I would have done if I'd been alone. He said this was relaxation for him, that he often walks naked in the woods like this. And just in case, he wears the mask, Yeah, but what about the dildo on the stick? Huh? Oh, how'd that get there? Oh, geez. Now this is really embarrassing. The incident is being investigated by police in the nearby city of Nitra as a potential public order offense. Potential, huh? The incident was reportedly the third encounter that visitors have had with a naked man in the same stretch of woods since Diddy. It isn't known if the same individual is involved in all three incidents. Probably, unless it's a cult. Although his behavior has left visitors disturbed, the man hasn't been seen engaging in any sexual behavior. He just did. What do you think this motive is? He gets off on this. Or confronting any visitors aggressively. Well, he did apologize. So I guess you can take that out. The situation comes as cops in the United Kingdom are investigating a separate incident involving a naked masked man. See, it's a trend. Police in Lytham, northwest England, are investigating after security footage showed a man wearing nothing except a black gimp mask and sneakers recently wandering the streets at night. Okay, let's take a look. It is the other story I have ready to go, but maybe this will make it easier to jump over. Let me check. Nope, I'm going to have to do this. Show this tab instead. We don't need to show that one. We will show this tab instead. Yes. So, naked man in gimp mask caught on bizarre video prowling quiet town. A naked man wearing nothing but, yes, you guessed it, a black gimp mask and sneakers. Well, that's thoughtful because, there can be all kinds of stuff in the street and the sidewalk and everything. You might get your foot cut. So always wear your shoes, has been caught on creepy video. Creepy because he's in it. Prowling the streets of a quiet seaside town in England. Video of the phantom flasher wearing a bondage hood while walking the streets of Lytham at night has some shaken locals sputtering into their tea. It's a gimp mask. I've watched the footage. I've no idea what he thinks he's doing, a resident who didn't want to be named said. So there he is, taking his nightly stroll. Yeah. I mean, there's cameras everywhere in Britain, so he had to have known. He's getting off on that, you know. So in the days earlier, we saw a young man fully clothed, all right, walking around the streets, looking up and around, seemingly checking for cameras. Oh, well, there you go. We think it's the same man. Yeah, it is. He wanted to make sure he's on camera. Then wait, man, I hope I can see my own footage. Yeah, look, there I am, naked. So a clip of the perv taken from a car's dash cam was shared in a local WhatsApp group before more footage from the same night was revealed and posted on Facebook. The man is seen calmly walking through the small town's residential streets around 12:50 a.m. Some residents saw the funny side. Well, how can you not, you know? It'll be someone who's lost a bet, a Facebook quipper quipped. Yeah. A second person said jokingly, "It was a hot night, what can I say?" Another commenter said, "Brilliant. Is he single? Asking for a friend." Yeah, he's single. Police are hunting for the nude culprit, reviewing the footage and conducting house-to-house inquiries. We are aware of a concerning video circulating on social media of a naked male wearing a face covering walking around Lytham in the early hours of the morning. A Lancashire police spokesman told Lytham St. Anne's News. Thanks, Anne. The incident was not initially reported to police and has only been brought to our attention after it has been viewed on Facebook. Anyone with information is urged to get in touch with Lancashire. Oh, I got it wrong. Lancashire, please. So that's important. So there you go. Recognize him? Well, they need to get those people who said, "Hey, we saw this guy checking out the cameras early in the day." You go back, study the daytime footage. Hey, yeah, there's this guy walking the same path, checking out the cameras. You're going to want to find, and probably already have found him. I don't know. But anyway, he's, really proud of himself. I planned this for so long, and now I've finally done it. At long last. Yes. So there you go. Naked men. So, of course, ladies, don't let the men have all the fun. Where's the naked women walking around? Well, it does happen on occasion. Unfortunately, not this time. No. Well, what are you going to do? Well, so there you go. That's the scourge of the naked man. A. Thompson, that guy that blended that model into a smoothie. Still looking for what kind of blender that was. That is a buy now. A. Thompson, I don't see a problem crime here. He said sorry, move on. Well, it's public indecency, Plus, I don't know, let's see someone who owns the property. It's a castle. Is that like public domain there or something? Could be violating something like that. We know exactly what you would have done. Yes, Hey, Thompson, do they have mosquitoes there? Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, Thompson, I had a family member, type 1 diabetic, I guess, do that so frequently. The police started carrying some gel to put in his mouth. He walked around naked with a dildo on a stick. I haven't experienced that compulsion. Cocktail, this guy is realistically several hundred thousands of spots down this list of people walking around the UK. Okay. Hey, Thompson, whenever I watch those videos of the people acting weird on the street, I have a lot of empathy. Diabetes is a son of a bitch. So you think, really? Diabetes can cause people to walk around naked? Well, I guess I got that to look forward to. Cocktail, that needed to be considered a problem. Yeah, I don't want to see a naked dude walking around. And the nakedness is bad enough, but the gimp mask, at least the other guy had the, what was it, the balaclava, you know? Not that leather crap with the zippers and stuff. Ugh. Hey, Thompson, oh no, dildo. Sounds like the title of a song. Oh no, dildo. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, let me see here. So now all I got is Nailsin rating stuff. So I wonder if I can do this fast enough. Probably can't. Yeah, it's only 10 seconds long. But anyway, we'll do this little thingy as a segue. And then we'll move on to these Nailsin rating stories. You know, it's Marvel and DC, and that's it. Best I can do on short notice, you know. Okay, did that work? Oh, well, let's hope. I do so hate it when they see my behind-the-scenes shenanigans. It's embarrassing. Just pretend like you didn't see anything. Don't say you did. All right. Oh, let me check the super tips. Nope. All right. So we will. Let me put the chat back on. There, that should catch up. Make sure that's okay. A. Thompson, no, he would strip down and run around crazy after 5 times the police had a stand down. Cocktail, oh no, the old censored TV app has been forcibly updated to the new one. Yeah, it happens sooner or later. Hey, Thompson, I guess his skin would feel like it's on fire and start looking for help. Good Lord. That sounds like some severe neurological damage he suffered. Which, yeah, that unfortunately can happen. Yeah. Again, thanks for putting that in my head, you know. But I guess I better take care of myself, huh? All right. Oh, wrong one. Damn it. Boy, that's going to be confusing, isn't it? You bastard. So I guess, like, is it the second one? And then you do that one? Okay. Yeah. All right. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense considering what's going on at the moment, but we'll get to it. Fantastic Four sequel rumored, despite box office bomb. Even Pedro Pascal is. Really? Marvel reportedly plans to move forward with the Fantastic Four sequel, even though First Steps is on pace to be the last steps, because it's another MCU financial disappointment, which follows Disney confirming both Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts as big busts. And it's too bad. Thunderbolts wasn't too bad. Fantastic Four is not that bad either, but I tell you, this is consequences of the overall damage to the brand. So according to insider Jeff Snyder, oh wow, see? Get it? Marvel still wants to move ahead with a sequel, probably because what else are they going to do, With director Matt Shakman likely returning. According to the report, the thinking is that the studio hopes that the team's upcoming appearances in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars will boost their profile enough to help a second movie perform better. Okay. The box office wasn't great this weekend, with the Fantastic Four First Step suffering a huge drop en route to a second weekend of $40 million, indicating that it will likely come in under Superman. I've heard that Matt Shakman will likely return to direct a sequel, which Marvel execs think will perform better once its first family appears in the two-part Avengers finale. That's going to have to be some really cool Avengers finales. So I don't know. And will that rub off on them? So far, there's been no official announcement from Disney or Marvel Studios, though Disney CEO Bob Iger did speak positively about fantasy. He always does that, and then he drops them like a turd in the ball, but they're kind of stuck where they are. So I imagine it'll be a much cheaper Fantastic Four movie. Unless, boy, the Avengers movies just blows it out and rakes in $2 billion each, then, well, that's a different story. Because they're rebooting the whole thing, and the Fantastic Four is brand new to their MCU, so the new MCU will have them in there, plus the X-Men. And so it stands to reason. I'm sure there's a lot of truth to this. It's a rumor right now, but it does have some credibility to it. And they're just kind of stuck with it. So they probably will go ahead with it. But they're going to have to cut some costs here, And then they stick with the same director. Of course, it's not the director's fault that they damage the overall brand, which is probably what hurt it more than anything else. And so maybe it's hard to believe there's any, hey, we feel bad about you taking the fall for this, so we're going to give you another job. But then there's also the reality that they probably can't get anyone else at this point, So whatever. The rumor comes on the heels of Fantastic Four First Steps taking a major 67% hit in its second weekend, dropping to $38 million domestic after opening at $117.6 million. It now trails James Gunn's Superman, which only dipped 63% in its second weekend and is flying past $550 million globally. As of Tuesday, Fantastic Four is at $378.3 million globally. So can they hit 500 million by I don't think not by next week. And then I was on Doomcock's show earlier, and it was Robert Wright made the mention that the kids are about to go back to school. So that's going to limit the available audience to get you over the finish line. So plus they probably need a lot more than somewhere within the 500 range. But anyway, despite a 91% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and an A- on CinemaScore, Fantastic Four isn't connecting beyond hardcore Marvel fans. The Wrapped called the second weekend collapse a bad omen for Marvel's future. Yes, this is bad for the overall brand, which is terribly damaged, and Fantastic Four is not responsible for that. They made a lot of mistakes with the movie. Oh boy, did they. But seen far worse. The report notes the film was expected to hold below a 60% drop, which could have kept it on track for $300 million domestic and $500 million worldwide run. But that now seems unlikely, and the box office is being questioned. Critics and analysts agree that Fantastic Four didn't offer anything that got people trailing. Unlike Superman, which generated buzz around characters like Crypto and Mr. Terrific, exactly as Matt McGloin said. First steps played it safe. There were no breakout moments or cameos, no major tie-ins to the wider MCU. Mole Man was in there. They cut out the Red Ghost, which now looks like a mistake to me. And Doctor Doom had a cameo in it. So there's cameos, but Herbie was their Crypto, I think. And I guess that didn't work. Anyway, with the strong visuals and positive word of mouth, it failed to capture interest outside the core fan base. The movie gave audiences exactly what was expected and nothing more. Well, I expected far worse, but, I get the point. Film critic Aaron Newworth filled in the rap Fantastic Four, which I did like. Didn't have that by comparison. There wasn't anything specific that made people go, oh, you have to go see this film right this second. Yeah. So Fantastic Four is now facing a tougher box office battle, heading into its third weekend. Now, competition like Freakier Friday, Weapons, which looks interesting. That looks creepy movie, might be good. And The Bad Guys 2 is expected to pull away key demographics, particularly families and general audiences. Opening weekend data already showed a skewed audience around 70% male, with the percentage of families that went to see Marvel's Fantastic Four low at 17% compared to Superman's 31%. Fantastic Four was already pretty heavy on fanboys and light on families, a theatrical insider told The Wrap. Competing with The Bad Guys #2 in the second weekend probably ended up being a bigger hurdle than expected. And Robert Downey Jr. is like, what are you going to do? Marvel is clearly hoping that by the time Fantastic Four appears in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, the team will finally catch fire. Well, then they'll burn down, though. But expectations have dropped, according to The Wrap. The site offers that both Secret Wars and Doomsday aren't likely to reach the $2 billion highs of Infinity War and Endgame. Not without the same build-up, fan investment, and hype. That's the problem. They're saying, oh, yeah, Doomsday and Secret Wars, it's Infinity War and Endgame all over again. You don't have the backlog of movies that built the hype. And I know, especially Infinity War, people just love that, but without the development of the characters in the other movies, it's not going to have the same effect. So these are movies heavily dependent on one another. It's the nature of the shared universe beast. And unless something changes, Marvel may not attempt to launch another new character until after 2028. There's still no word about Shang-Chi 2. Gee, I wonder why. I think they'll move forward with X-Men regardless of what happens here. So, there's that. Anyway, in the recent Marvel press event, similar to what Iger has said, Kevin Feige confirmed the MCU will be scaling back on content. Yeah. From the first Iron Man in 2008 through Endgame in 2019, Marvel produced around 50 hours of screen storytelling. In the 6 years since Endgame, the number jumped to an astounding 102 hours of movies and television. 127 hours if you include animation. That's too much. Well, it is a factor. There was Marvel saturation. That's true. Plus, the homework necessary to understand everything. But you're leaving out serious problems that you forced in this. The woke era did a lot of damage. Fantastic Four probably would have had a better chance if you didn't sell woke stuff in its promotion. Sue Storm was overpowered, but really only at the end there. And she didn't really come across as a total girl boss in it overall. Everybody was watered down in the Fantastic Four. They still had elements of their character there, but especially Ben Grimm was just completely, watered down, Then you have a gender swap. You just can't do that anymore. You just can't. And that's a surefire sign to someone, nope, nope, nope. You know, even though for the most part, it's not a woke movie, but you have the decorations and trappings of wokeness in it. And so pass. And you've already done the damage, even with the actual, I mean, if you'd had full on, maybe, but even that's just hardcore Marvel fans, which for the most part you probably got. And then the nascent ones off who do know something of Fantastic Four, that could have worked. It probably would have done a little bit better. But the brand overall is so badly damaged. It's really tough for a brand new movie. And yet that's what they got to do. X-Men, is that going to work? You know? What do you say, Pedro? You think it'll work? Oh, it's not really his job. He's just plays the character, you know, whatever. So there you go. It doesn't look good. So, but gee, was it really all that predictable? Yes. Especially after Daredevil, which is the most popular of the Netflix shows. Of all the Marvel TV shows they had done and whatnot, the Daredevil of Netflix, those first 2 seasons were great. So there was a lot of interest in getting Charlie Cox back, but then they She-Hulked him. And the brand overall was badly damaged by more crappy movies and TV shows. And by the time it came along, nobody saw it. Nobody showed up to watch it. That beyond the fact that the show they did was terrible. But they didn't know that at the outset. They assumed it would be based on the track record of Marvel. So the brand damage is severe and it's there. And here you have your Fantastic Four movie. And again, didn't show up. Yeah. Yeah. That's too bad, huh? Yeah. Oh, well, what about DC? How's that going to turn out? I don't know, but we'll take a look. Let me see who else is here. A. Thompson, that was real diabetes, not that Temu diabetes. Not familiar with Temu diabetes. A. Thompson, sequel direct to NBC broadcast. Cocktail, I hear a rumor the budgets for Disney Marvel movies and shows are going to be reduced across the board. Yeah, they have to. Plus, they're not going to make as much as they used to. So, but this idea, a big part of the cost was not so much the movies initially, is that they were so bad at making them. They were constantly reshooting them. So I don't think Fantastic Four got reshot as much as the Brave New World movie. But it's a lot. They've been doing that since, and they've always done it. There's always pickup shots and reshoots, that sort of thing. But they don't tank a movie's budget, you know, or balloon it to where it becomes impossible to make it back. But Marvel kept doing this. Doctor Strange, the last one, they reshot that one almost entirely and stuff. That kind of thing. And back then they were still fat from the, you know, Infinity War Endgame money and everything. But as they went, they burned all of it away. And they just kept doing the same practice. And just, well, can you fix it now into this other movie? No. Angel Guzman, good morning, good sir. Or gold, sir? Yeah. Fantastic meh and super shit. Can't wait for the DC Marvel crossover. There's rumors of that too. And they're like, if both entities can survive long enough to where they need that boost. Yeah. Hey, Thompson, that's what I do. Just one movie a month with the kids. They like the 3D IMAX, and it keeps me from walking out. Disney has Zootopia 2 and Frozen coming out. Those will be huge. Yeah, probably. Angel Guzman, good morning, good sir. Sorry, that typo. Still waking up. I understand. Cocktail, is the plan to make Tony Stark the new Doctor Doom? Or does Doctor Doom just happen to look exactly like Tony Stark? Yeah, that's the question. within the comic books, Doctor Doom has the ability to take over other people's bodies. He's done it a couple of times. Originally, he did it with Reed Richards and that sort of thing. So he basically switches bodies with you. You go into his and he goes into yours and that kind of thing. And the thought was like, oh, he did that to an alternate universe Tony Stark. But then at the end of Fantastic Four, it looks like Franklin Richards is healing his face. So if his face is healed, why does he need to jump to someone else's body? So he's just going to happen to look like Tony Stark, which is, stupid. But that's the thing. A lot of them at the MCU, they're like, wait, Dr. Doom can jump into other bodies? What are you talking about? See, it's part of the problem. Yeah. Anyway, Thompson, Weapons is in IMAX this weekend. So Fantastic Four can fuck off out of that theater. More than likely. Hey, Thompson, you know what they did, Doug? They took Fantastic Four out of IMAX and put F1 back in for this week. Oh, F1, the Brad Pitt movie. Oh, they put it back in. Look, we got to make some money. Get this crap out of here. Fantastic Four was a complete flop. Hey, Thompson, do you like Demon Slayer, Doug? Never watched it. Hey, Thompson, oh, and I forgot. Tron is a Disney product. Yes. What are the odds after all this time of their Tron Legacy had flopped at the time? It comes down to this Tron movie, albeit with Jared Leto, but nevertheless, the trailer looks cool. That one might actually do good. It doesn't have all this baggage. I mean, it's an old franchise and everything, but it might work, They're like, see, I knew it all along. Yeah. Cocteau stupid is the word. Yes, I'm afraid so. Angel Guzman, Troy Ares looks promising, but it's Disney. He means Tron or Ares. Yeah, it looks a lot cooler than I expected, But, we'll see. The music sounds cool, too. Nine Inch Nails does good movie music. So, we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully. But the other two, Frozen and I forget the other one, those have a strong fan base. That'll bring in some extra cash. And eventually they're going to have to, boy, we really miss those golden days of Marvel bringing in $1 billion a film and all that. But I guess we can't do it anymore. Let's move on. I wonder what happened. I don't know. Yeah. Hey, Thompson, you can talk trash about Avatar and Tron and Dune. Those are great in IMAX. The video quality of the audio in Dune is the best I ever experienced. Yeah, I don't care. I'm talking about the story. Dune's better than Avatar. Avatar stunk. That is crap. I don't care how pretty it is. And it was pretty. Tron, I don't know. Might be. Tron Legacy? It was impressive at its time because that was one of the first ones you see someone de-aged like that. It doesn't hold up now. But then again, it makes sense in the Tron movie because he's a computer thing. I always thought they should have just done that, applied it to all the characters because it would have been kind of similar to the original where they looked weird in it and everything. And done it like that. But I guess that would have been more expensive. I don't know. Whatever. But, yeah, Avatar, I don't care how pretty it is. I'm sure it does look amazing in IMAX, but that's just, I don't know. It might as well just be a music video. They're like, wow, look, it looks like I'm really there and it's big and all that. That's it. That story stunk. So I just can't do that. No. Anyway, maybe I'll skip to one of these. Anti-derivative Jill says, good morning, Doug. Good morning, Jill. Let's see here. Oh, I'm going to want to get rid. Which one is it? I better check this, check that. That's how I know. No, you don't want that one. You want the other one. There we go. So back to DC. I was bummed that Superman, Cavill didn't get another shot at Superman. But there are other possibilities. He's probably not going to get a shot at James Bond, which I thought he should. But, yeah. So Henry Cavill's superhero movie future. Batman or Wolverine? Well, he's already done Wolverine technically in Wolverine and Deadpool. Or Deadpool and Wolverine, I forget which. But anyway, and making him the only other actor besides Hugh Jackman to play the role. Yeah. So I was like, was that a tease? Is he the new Wolverine? And all that. Batman is something I've thought of quite a bit, especially since it's supposed to be this father and son story with the DCU Batman. So they could just put him in the suit. That would be interesting. So Henry Cavill may have moved on from Superman and is currently prepping for the Highlander reboot, but fans haven't let go of seeing him return to comic book movies. Whether it's as the next Wolverine, a live-action Captain Britain, or even the DCU's new Batman, Cavill remains one of the most fan-favorite actors in comic book movies. So Henry Cavill made headlines when he showed up as a variant of Wolverine in the Deadpool and Wolverine, a surprise cameo that caught many fans off guard. Henry is actually the first actor to play Wolverine since Hugh Jackman 25 years ago. While it may have been brief, it was enough to ignite speculation about his future as Marvel's next take on the character. Last year, we reported that Cavill was in talks with Marvel to play Wolverine. Well, yeah, but it wasn't that before the movie came out, so it was probably the rumors you were hearing was he met with him and said, hey, would you do a cameo as Wolverine? And he said, yeah, all right. But I think it stands to reason that he wants a little more out of the deal, So maybe he is the new Wolverine, Another outlet later confirmed he had discussions with Marvel, and with Secret Wars on the horizon, Marvel is clearly laying the groundwork for fresh casting, though at the same time, rumors offer Feige wants Jackman to stick around. Yeah, so you're kind of in a mess there. Anyway, Henry fits the physical profile for the role. Well, I mean, he's a muscular dude and everything, but again, just like Hugh Jackman, he's too tall. But look how Hugh Jackman did. He did great, so that they're not going to put a short Wolverine in there. He could also bring a more darker than it's already been. Well, all right. More comics accurate R-rated version of Logan. Well, they're not going to do that with X-Men, I don't think. And Marvel's multiverse gives them room to expand without retconning Jackman's legacy. With the Fox universe winding down and Secret Wars expected to reboot the MCU, Cavill may be in line to take over the role in a more permanent way. Back in 2021-2022, Cavill was rumored to be in talks with Marvel Studios to play Captain Britain, a British super soldier tied to the multiverse. Cavill acknowledged the rumors himself, saying, I have seen the various rumors about Captain Britain, and that would be loads of fun to do a cool, modernized version of that, like the way they modernized Captain America. There's something fun about that. And I do love being British. Yeah, see, that's one of the times he gets to use his actual accent. Marvel hasn't acted on the idea yet, no. But the door remains open for a full blow role? You mean blown? For Henry Cavill in the MCU. So it's probably Wolverine. Yeah, that would be the best guess. I mean, how long? I mean, I guess they could just stay with Jackman. He's very popular in the role. And he's like, as long as they can pay him to keep him around, because really, Logan was a great send-off. But then he came back for Deadpool and Wolverine. Everybody showed up for that because they just wanted to see it, So they're like, well. But James Gunn says he's open to recasting Cavill in the DCU. On a recent episode of Happy, Sad, Confused, James Gunn responded as follows when Josh Horowitz asked if it would be too confusing to cast Cavill as another DC character. Absolutely not. No, I talked to him about it on that day when you told him he was fired. So yeah, no, I would love to put Henry in something. As I recall at the time, it was that he was offered a role of some sort and he turned it down. So I don't know. I doubt that would have been Batman. Seems like he would have. Oh, yeah? Well, So that one quote sparked a wave of speculation, especially from DC fans hoping to see Cavill return to DC, with some recommending Henry as Batman in The Brave and the Bold. The upcoming DC movie is said to be featuring Batman mentoring Damian, and Cavill fits that mold and even looks the part of Bruce Wayne. See? There he is. Cavill may no longer wear the red cape, but he's still orbiting both comic book universes. On the Marvel side, he's already stepped in as Wolverine, as a Wolverine variant, and reliable sources say he's had real talks about a future with the studio. Whether that's a full-time Wolverine, Captain Britain, or something else entirely remains to be seen. On the DC side, Gunn says the door's open. Cavill already has the fan base, the physique, and the legacy. If Gunn is looking for a grounded, established actor to anchor the Brave and the Bold, Cavill fits. What do you think? So, yeah, he does. Especially, like you said, the narrative of Batman being of the age to have a teenage son. And that's the version they want to go with between Bruce Wayne and Damian. Then, yeah, that would be something interesting. Will it happen? Probably not. Yeah. And then again, I don't know, people would be, no, he has to come back as Superman. And then it could be like, people will say, but, they could do Crisis on Infinite Earths and he's the other Superman. Yeah, but that's, if they ever get there, that's down the road, Suppose they could still do it. But, the thing is they could do, and James Gunn keeps wanting to revive Silver Age. Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent would often switch sides, to make it look like Bruce Wayne standing next to Batman because they look so much alike. And of course, David Cornsweet and Henry Cavill do look alike, sort of. I mean, the idea of being they both look like Superman. So they could do that gag. Of course, Lois already knows who Superman is. But for other people, there's Clark standing next to Superman, and it's Henry Cavill in the Superman outfit. Playing Bruce Wayne. Of course, I don't know that would work because, hey, why does Superman look like Bruce Wayne? But I guess once he does the curl, that's enough to fool them into thinking, oh, yeah. That's not Bruce Wayne. That's Superman. And look, Clark Kent isn't Superman. He's standing right next to him. Yeah. All right. That's it for that one. I don't know. It's just a list of stories. I guess I'll do it. I don't know. Might as well. Do. The DCU's 8th team-up project gets exciting production update. Huh? These three are going to team up? DC Studios has an 8th team-up project taking promising steps forward to production. Having penned a supposedly stellar script for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. They're not calling it that anymore. But anyway, DC Studios handed writer Anna Noguera the pen for another major DCU movie. Well, you keep it down to one writer to write all your movies. It doesn't cost as much. The Rising Scribe reportedly began work on the Teen Titans adaptation last March to bring DC's iconic sidekick team to the big screen. The DCU blockbuster has been rumored to feature the Teen Titans classic lineup of Robin, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg, albeit with an unexpected choice for its Boy of Wonder. It's Boy, wonder. More recently, DC Studios confirmed that Nogueira is moving on to write another DCU movie, scripting the highly anticipated Wonder Woman reboot. Naturally, this raised concerns about whether her shift to the Themyscirian princess meant Teen Titans was being left behind, especially after James Gunn confirmed he had recently killed a greenlit DCU project due to script struggles. But I would have thought that would be one they announced. They haven't announced a Teen Titans movie. But it seems Teen Titans or series. Anyway, Teen fans have nothing to worry about, as according to the N. Snyder, Nogueira already turned in a draft for the youthful team up, while the script may require tweaking. They always do. That may be saved for after the busy writer finishes Wonder Woman, which is a top priority for DC Studios. Well, it should be. This production update ought to reassure Teen Titans fans that this movie is far from off the table. Yeah, but if Supergirl bombs and they keep doing lackluster performances with the other films and shows and whatnot, then yeah, it probably will never see the light of day. But if they're better, well then, okay. The superhero youngster unit has starred in over 14 seasons of animated TV across Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. Meanwhile, a darker Arrowverse-esque take brought the team to live action for the first time in HBO Max's Titans, which ended in 2023 after 4 seasons amid behind-the-scenes changes in DC. And there were possibilities in that thing, but for the most part, it was crap. It's unfortunate. Teen Titans is one of 8 team-up ensemble movies and shows confirmed to exist in the new DCU, some of which have already been released. So, of course, Creature Commandos, and it's already on the fast track, as it says here, for season 2, The Authority. I'm thinking they should just scrap this just because they put the engineer in Superman. Maybe that's the one that got scrapped, and they'll perhaps revisit it later. But The Authority just, look, I keep coming to this. It doesn't work in the DC. They were better off in their own universe. Lanterns, yeah, that's on the way. Bane and Deathstroke, yeah, they announced this sort of thing. Again, maybe this got scrapped. I don't know, but Clayface is on the way. This one sounds a little more expensive. So, but these Batman villain team up. So Batman movies with no Batman. I don't know. Brave and the Bold, which is Batman and Robin. So, my guess is I would have thought that they would get to Batman first, introducing their Robin, and then do Teen Titans. Paradise Lost is another one they should scrap. Do the Wonder Woman movie. A Game of Thrones-esque thing on Paradise Lost for HBO Max. It just no. Scrap that. Suicide Squad, yeah, you'll probably get another one. And the vague memories between DCU and DCEU. Well, that's easy enough. You just say for the most part, saying, yeah, it happened. I don't know. Well, anyway, there you go. Teen Titans. Wow. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. But then again, maybe not. Perhaps. But maybe not. And that's it. The only thing this little thingy we'll take a little look at. It's not really all that big of a deal, but see, there's the Superman suit on the wall here without the panties. And for whatever reason, they thought, I just couldn't get it to work. Well, it does look more akin to the New 52 suit, which is clearly what they were copying. But they decided to put the red trunks on, but they were like oversized and stuff. And of course, this is concept art, so of course it fits well and everything. And it's all these multiple pieces, and there he is modeling, unless that's a different guy. I don't know, but and what is this? The patterns, I guess, they were working on. Well, whatever. Um, that's one of the versions they were looking at, and probably would have been better to go that way. I don't know, but why couldn't they just go the Christopher Reeve route, and look like the suit Superman's always worn? I don't know. They just didn't want to. All right, I'll wrap up with some chat here, and that'll be it for this edition. Oh, going too far back. Too far back. Way too far. Oh my goodness. That's too far. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I answered that one. Did that one. I better check. Super tip. No. That, yeah, that's not. Okay. Oops, wrong one. A. Thompson, and when the story fails in Avatar, the 3D makes up for it. How? Again, like I said, it's just a pretty show. It's not going to fix a crap story. Cocktail, the audio is pretty out of sync on Rumble. Oh, jeez. I was worried about that. So it doesn't come across like it's, let me see here. Damn. I wonder why. Does it? I wonder. Yeah, that doesn't work. I had to turn off this element, but it creates an echo for me, which is damn annoying. Okay. Yeah, still doesn't work. Let's see if it works. I'm just checking it. No, come on. Wow, this is really off. Come on. And that caught it up a little, but not by much. So, don't know what to tell you. That's going to give me a lot of work to do, having to fix this into edited segments and stuff, because I have to take the audio and then match it. Arc stupid audio out of sync. A. Thompson, Avatar is one of the only releases I see in December. All right. A. Thompson, I forgot. Early next year, Toy Story 5. That will be big. Maybe. Cocktail Captain Britain. Ha! A superhero representing that dystopian nightmare. What would he do? Walk around stabbing children and covering up sex crimes? Yeah, I don't know. Angel Guzman, Cavill can be either Batman or Superman. Hell, he can play Cyclops. Cavill can play Omni-Man too. Yeah. Anti-derivative Jill. Movie magic can make people taller or shorter. As well, yeah, they did do that when they had the shorter Wolverine. That's accurate. Wolverine. He doesn't. I show a Mandalorian movie in IMAX in February. Not in February. Hey, Thompson, I have seen Tron Legacy a few times now. I got Disney Plus for the month. Got to watch something on there. while we wait for Alien Earth. Well, that's like Alien Earth is next week, isn't it? Yeah, next Tuesday. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hey, Townsend, I've heard good things about Alien Earth, Doug. Some people are in disbelief. It's a TV show. The production quality is high. Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good. So, I'll check it out. See how that goes. Anti-derivative Jill. The point is, whatever they cast him in, people will go see it. So it'd be odd if they didn't put him in something. Well, yeah, I'm just wondering, and I mean, it's supposed to be Gunn's call. He says he wants to work with him. So I'd say go for Batman, At least most of the time you'd be in the mask anyway. That should deal with whatever problems. Hey, wasn't he Superman? I don't think you have to worry about that. Anti-derivative Jill, I have hope for Alien Earth at A. Thompson, even though I hate that it's a prequel. Yeah, I don't like that either. They're rewriting the whole story and stuff. But we'll see. Hey, Thompson, I heard Alien Earth will delete one of the Alien movies. Romulus will no longer be valid. Romulus won't be? I don't think so. Some of the dumb sequels, yeah, because there are a lot of most of the sequels. There's only 2 good Alien movies, Alien and Aliens. The rest of them are crap. They just are. There's some interesting things here and there. Alien Covenant, the absolute worst. That was trash. And Alien Romulus, it had some things here, but it had a lot of stupid in it. So I don't know, but they just did it and it made its money. They're making a sequel to that one. So the idea of deleting it and everything, I don't think so. If they're going to delete one of them, maybe Alien Resurrection, they should delete all the Alien Covenant. Just forget that ever happened, but they're not gonna. Hey, Thompson, another great show to watch while you wait for Alien Earth is The Bear. What a great show. Anti-derivative Jill, I am okay with that. Romulus looked good, but it wasn't a great story. No, it wasn't. Hey, Thompson, people on YouTube have somehow seen the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth. They claim it's great. Anti-derivative Jill, however, the danger of enjoying a show with such a wide story arc like Alien Earth is that can start strong, but fizzle out. Well, it all takes place on that crashed ship, I think. So, and I read an article where they're wanting it to be an ongoing series, so not just a one and done miniseries or something. Anti-derivative Jill, I want it to be good. Yes. Hey, Thompson, I hope they release all the Alien Earth episodes at once. I need to cancel D+. They're not. The first 2 episodes will be released. After that, it's like normal television. So you'll just have to miss out. Hey, Thompson, D+ is about $18 a month. So less than $20 to see Alien Earth. Cheaper than seeing an IMAX movie. Okay. Angel Guzman. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, I hope I'm back now. It's only a little out of sync. Just keep going. Hey, Thompson, it's like a Bruce Lee flick. Angel Guzman, sound back up. Anti-derivative Jill, LOL, you should be monetized. Yeah, one day. I got Super Tip. I got Rumble Rants if you want to do that, but that's what I got for the moment. Cocteau, have a good day, Doug. If I can stay awake, I'll see you on Jokes Kill tonight. That's right, on censored.tv. Anti-derivative Jill, Toy Story is a great trilogy. I don't need any more. Yeah, see, that's a part of the problem. I don't know about Toy Story. And Pixar has fallen so very low. Frozen, on the other hand, I don't know. But don't underestimate Disney's ability to ruin their, golden eggs. Hey, Thompson, what the fuck? You know that Alien 3 was the worst. The Covenant's even worse than that. Alien 3 is bad. But Covenant, holy crap. The stupidity on so many levels in that thing. No. And worst of all, Ridley Scott did it. You know, I don't know. Couldn't he hear me through the screen? A. Thompson at Jill. Kids need to see something. Oh, you mean Toy Story? Yeah, but I don't know. Even they are like, might be like, this is no good. All right, there we go. That probably concludes all our great news. Oh, I still had the dumb Nailsin news thing up there. What an idiot. That's embarrassing. Oh, jeez. Of course, it shows up on the video, but it in my platform here, it freezes everything up. Well, what are you gonna do? Oh, and I forgot to do the stupid. But it's too late now. So there we go. That's your Nailsin news. You're all caught up. If I'm able, I will do another one Thursday night, but I can't promise that because I'll probably be tired after jokes kill and stuff like that. Why is it saying that? I don't know. Anyway, there you go. So hopefully you got a kick out of these lovely stories. Oh boy, weren't they wonderful? And we'll meet again at a later date and hopefully have similar fun. But since I split this between Nailsin News and Nailsin Ratings, gonna have to end on the Nailsin Ratings theme song. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk again hopefully soon.
Hollywood good, could really wish they would. There's no debating it. All that's left is the Nailsin rating. The first feast on the corpse of the beast. Only after the feel of the vulture.